Okay, I have 2 pieces of each, the interfacing and the lining. So what I usually do is take the interfacing, the 2 pieces, so that both sticky parts are faced up. Then I take the 2 lining pieces and center them as much over the interfacing as possible, and then press it with a hot iron, cotton. Okay, and then while I'm still here, I will pin these here and here and one in the middle. Now stop. Okay, so now I'm pinning, and notice how I'm pinning. I'm pinning across the edge. Not, your picture showed me that you had it pinned this way. You want to always pin this way, so that when you're sewing across that 1/4 of an inch right there, it's just a little bit of small seam. You have that 1/4 of an inch, and that's the way you want to start your whole thing. So you do your fashion fabric, and then you do your pressed lining and interfacings together. And like I said, they don't always match up, but you follow the line of the interfacing, of the lining. So after you do that, keep going. After you do those 2 pieces, I usually take your pins out, of course. Then you take your lining pieces and your fashion fabric pieces, and you take these seams right here, line them up, those seams right there, line them up, and also line it as much as you can this way, and you pin them. You pin this, and then you come around, you pin this, and then you come and do the end, and you come to the other side from the center, and you do this pinning, and you do this pinning. Then you go to the bottom part, or what I call the chin part, and see the direction I pinned this seam. You want to keep that seam going the same way on both sides, so that when you press it, they'll be going one way. So I'm, again, at the chin part, I'm matching the 2 seams together. I'm pinning it together like that, and pinning it, one in the middle here and one on the end. Sorry about that. And one in the middle here and one here. Then that same 1/4 of an inch, you want to sew these 2 pieces together, the lining and the fashion fabric, and always start with a reverse stitch at the very beginning to lock it off. When you come across this part, you kind of have to turn it a little bit, but still try to keep that edge along your, whatever you're using as a guide for your 1/4 of an inch. Then you do that one, and you take the other side and you cut the same way. Now see, this one is a little off, but what I'm going to follow is the fashion fabric line as my 1/4 of an inch. So I start there And make sure as you're coming up to this curve that it's still flat together. Sometimes I have caught it where it's like this underneath. No, you don't want it to be like that. You want to make sure it's all up. And you sew it like this. Sew it, sew it. Make that curve, turn it as you go, a little slowly. And you come all the way out to the end.